now to Geneva, Switzerland, where global leaders in artificial intelligence are gathered for a UN-sponsored meeting. Titled the AI for Good Global Summit, is focusing on the positive impact the technology can have, especially in science and medicine. It comes amid growing concern about the impact of AI on everything from jobs, where it's expected to replace hundreds of millions of full-time staff around the world, to democracy, with its potential to spread disinformation, and it's even seen by some as a threat to humanity itself. Well, let's talk to Baroness Joanna Shields about this, Group Chief Executive of the tech firm Benevolent AI and former UK Minister for Internet Safety and Security. Warm welcome to the programme. Baroness Shields, your business is looking at AI in the field of medicine, so you're obviously all for it.
Oh, absolutely. We've seen a real acceleration event in the past 8 months or so since ChatGPT was released. And what that means for us is these foundational models are very powerful, but they're very generic in nature. And although they ingest all the world's information, in order to be successful in using these foundational models, you need to develop biodomain specific models, large language models, that can translate the language of biology and the understanding of disease and put that into the hands of scientists. And what's really exciting for us at Benevolent AI is we've been able to develop these large language models over the last couple of years, working in partnership with foundational models, and give scientists these extraordinary tools that enable them to do knowledge exploration, to hypothesize and make better decisions, but then also predict and generate insights that are novel and to understand disease biology better. These tools are incredibly empowering for scientists.
So that's an example of AI for good, which is what this conference is about in Geneva. But the real concern is what happens when AI is in the hands of bad actors, which, let's be honest, it probably is now.
Well, I think we have to look at this and exactly how do these models work. So in many respects, they are generic, right? So they are learning along with us. So each time someone queries a GPT and gets an answer, they're educating the system and it's learning from those queries. But of course, human interaction can bias the system. Also, these systems have been trained often on Western, Western data, nothing from the global South, et cetera. So there's all kinds of biases built in. And so what we have to do is we have to have guardrails. And the UK government recently has announced a summit for AI safety summit later in this year. And I think this is a really important breakthrough, along with the models, foundational models task force, to understand how these models work and to make sure there are guardrails to protect them from generating, output that could be potentially dangerous.
But how effective will this UN-sponsored meeting be that's going on in Geneva? Because at the same time, Shanghai is hosting its 3-day international conference on AI. And some of the biggest names in the business are actually in Shanghai. They're not in Geneva.
Oh, I think, well, what you find here is this AI for Good conference has been going on. This is the 7th year. So they've been working on this issue for a long time. And there are a gathering of experts that consistently come to Geneva and then participate in working groups throughout the year. So this organization, plus the Global Partnership on AI, which I had the pleasure to co-chair for 2 years, are just a number of international fora that are working on this, because it requires experts from all disciplines. So, in many ways, this new generative AI revolution could become a middleware for creativity and innovation for all of humanity, but it requires that all experts around the world are hands-on and understanding exactly what's happening to make sure this is an empowering force and not a force for negativity or harm.
Baroness Joanna Shields, thank you. I'm sure we'll discuss this again going forward. Thank you very much indeed.
Pleasure.